in sales, you're gonna get hit with objections, and my goal right now is to make sure that you're prepared for any type of resistance, any type of stall that actually comes your way. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about a stall or an objection that you could be faced with that goes something like this. Who do you represent, or what company do you represent? This can come whether you're cold calling somebody or if you're calling back a lead that requested information. Doesn't matter. You could be faced with this objection. Who do you represent, or what company do you represent? Before we jump into this, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that you are alerted each time a new video comes out, so that you are prepared to be that sales rock star that you were meant to be. So let's talk about this right now. Who do you represent, or what company do you represent? So what's happening right now is this. The idea behind this stall right here is this. The individual is asking this question for one reason. Are you ready? They're trying to find out if they're talking to a lounge act, an opening act, or a rock star. I truly believe that. Because right now, here's the first test that they're doing. They're trying to find out, is this person going to try to close me on how great they are and how great their company is? Because as soon as they do that, they're making it about them. They're not making it about me. You get that? That's the purpose behind this objection. They're trying to find out if you're making it about them or you're actually making it about you. So here's what you want to do. Most salespeople will make this mistake. They're going to try to close them right here on this objection by telling them how great they are and how great the company they represent is and how amazing they are. That is not the purpose of a response to an objection. Your response should not be to close the person. Your response should just be to go ahead and continue that conversation and move it forward. So having said that, here's the tip. How do you respond back to who do you represent or what company you represent? Here's how you do that. That's a great question, Jill. I hope to represent you, but right now I'm not sure if I can be of any help or you should even be talking to me. Let me ask you a question. Boom, boom, boom. Guess what? Now you've gone ahead and you've blown their mind because they don't know how to respond back to this right now. Because they were expecting you to come back and go how great you are as a salesperson, how great your company is. All of a sudden, you've done the exact opposite. You've actually made it all about them and not about you or the company you represent. So let's go over this again real quick. Take notes. Who do you represent, or what company you represent? That's a great question, Jill. I hope to represent you, but right now I'm not sure if I can be of any help to you or if you should even be talking to me. Let me ask you a question. Boom. They don't know how to respond to that anymore. They're kind of left flat-footed. And all of a sudden you just get right into your qualification, right into your discovery process. And you're going to find something is all of a sudden now that person goes, wait a minute, time out. I'm actually talking to a rock star. I'm actually talking to somebody that actually knows what they're doing, and they're trying to find out what the problem is, and they're not trying to sell me right away on how great of a company they are, how great they are. They're jumping into it like, hey, I don't know if I should be talking to you. I don't know if you should be talking to me. But you know what? If you do have a problem, guess what? I want to represent you. See, that's how you go ahead and you respond back to that stall, that type of objection. But let's say that that does not work. And all of a sudden, they're coming back and they're saying, wait, before I go any further, you've got to tell me who you represent or what company you represent. I will not talk to you any further until you answer that question for me. So all of a sudden now you've got somebody that's actually a little rude, but again, it's not time to go ahead and hang up the phone. It's not time to go ahead and fold and all of a sudden start telling them how great you are. Because if this stall is coming up right at the beginning, you have to go ahead and you have to tack the emotion right away in order to let their guard down, because their guard actually just went right back up. You tried lowering it, but it actually went right back up. So here's how you do that. I've done this in other objections. I always try to tie back to that person's emotion when they come back at me, what I call the stall behind the stall. So here's what you do. Voice lowers a little bit, your tonality changes a little bit, and here's what you say. I hear you, Jill. I don't believe in any coincidence in life. I believe the universe meant for us to connect today. If you could be kind enough to give me a couple minutes of your time, let's find out exactly why the universe did that. Let me ask you a question. go right back into your discovery process. Just move that conversation forward. Do not wait for them to acknowledge and say, oh, okay, that's fine. Let me start moving this. Let me start answering your question. No, you just go right into it. You do not stop. So again, when something like this happens where that stall comes back, I call it the stall behind the stall, you have to jump right into the emotions. You have to try to lower their guard by tapping into the emotions. So again, I hear you, Jill. I don't believe that there's any coincidence in life. I believe the universe kind of meant for us to connect today. If you could be kind enough to give me a couple minutes of your time, let's find out together why the universe did this. Let me ask you a question. Boom. Move the conversation forward. If you can't do that, then it might be time to let that person go. Because if they're not willing to let you in emotionally, then at that point there's really nothing else that you can do. If you start bending to them right now, they're going to own you for the entire phone call. But typically, this response will work. Always go ahead and make sure that when there's a stall behind the stall, that you are not folding. What you're doing is you're jumping right into attacking the emotional side of that objection. And the best way to do that is talking about how the universe has connected you together. You don't know why the universe did this, but hey, if they could give you a couple minutes of your time, let's find out why the universe actually did that. So now that you have this response back to this objection, always, always go ahead and make sure that you are not folding and starting to tell them how great you are and how great your company is. Just go ahead and respond back just to move that conversation forward, because guess what? If this is the right fit and they have a problem, they were going to want you to actually represent them. Now that you have the information, go ahead and take notes, make sure that you use it, make sure that you're prepared, and go out there today and be an absolute sales rock star. When somebody says who you represent or what company you represent, you know exactly now how to respond to that objection.